The 8th of June this year saw a first of its kind conference, the state's first women's conference, organized by the Government of Meghalaya Social Welfare and Women and Child Development Department, together with the Meghalaya State Commission for Women. This was a one-day affair held at the State Convention Center. The theme, Support and Celebrate. The inaugural session saw a horde of dignitaries who addressed the gathering. The Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma, the Principal Secretary Social Welfare, Shri Sampath Kumar, the Chief Secretary, Srimati Rebecca V. Suchiang, the Minister of Social Welfare, Kirman Shilla, and the Chairperson of the Women's Commission, Fidelia Toy. A packed audience saw the women members of the SHGs who came from all over the districts of Meghalaya, while those that couldn't be present were present online. There were videos and testimonies given by women who benefited from the various schemes of the government, and also a musical edition of the event, an all-women's band, the Haystacks, who gave a spirited performance. All in all, it was a productive event with hopes that it would become an annual event from here forward.
Meghalaya as a state, as you all aware, and the nation, whole world knows that Meghalaya is one state which has the very unique distinction of having matrilineal communities, which means that there is a greater sense of women's well-being. So that actually is taken care of. But again, when we look at it, whether that is sufficient, what else needs to be done? I think to deliberate and on our successes, what we have done and what we have achieved and what we are going to do. I think this is a kind of a women's conference that we are celebrating. Here, I would like to extend warm welcome on behalf of the entire organizers, both the Government of Meghalaya and State Women's Commission, our Honorable Chief Minister, and also our Honorable Minister for Social Welfare. Social Welfare is the department which looks after the women and child development too. And also our Honorable Chairperson of Meghalaya State Women's Commission, and our respected Chief Secretary who has been here. And as we celebrate our 50 years of celebration, we are very proud of having her as the woman chief secretary, for the state, and perhaps the distinction of having the first indigenous woman, chief secretary to hold this position. I think that is something that we feel proud of, and all dignitaries who are present here, and former chairpersons, and also Kong Patricia, and all whomever I have can see, and and I'm not able to name everyone, but all those dignitaries who have come here to participate and contribute, and a lot of academicians were there, and also Madam Smriti Irani. She's not able to come here because of the Union Cabinet meeting today, but she would be addressing through online. So with this, I would like to say a few words before actually, as introductory remarks. As I said, this women's conference, actually, we will be the first half, we are going to, listen to different initiatives which were taken up by the state government, as in fact narrated by the Kong Twinkle and other members here. There is a lot of work is happening, and we would be seeing that work and how that work is happening. While, as I said, there is a serious effort in terms of addressing systemic issues in the state. One of the things that what has been mentioned, I think you must have heard, is that how is the participation of women in different spheres. Okay, one, we have a matrilineal society, whether, in the matrilineal society, yes, women do have a lot of economic rights, but at the same time, what kind of an opportunities and what kind of a spaces that women have to really see their full potential. So one of the systemic measure the state government, was actively propagating, in fact, is that creating women self-help group network across the state. Today, 95% of the rural households are connected with this women self-help group network. Here, when I talk about women self-help group network, there are, why it is so important, because these self-help groups are not just for microfinance, but they're also for, a spaces. They give a space for women to discuss about the issues which are concerning themselves, and, whether actually those issues they might not be able to discuss. In fact, many times we do see that, these issues are not discussed in the public forums. So we need a space for women where they can discuss, articulate, and bring that discussion point in a public forum. So we are actually making a very systematic effort how women can be, women can see their full potential given the, social and, gender barriers. Though, we have though we are matrilineal society, I'll just give an example to start with to especially to kickstart the, state women's conference with a thought process. So if you look at, we were looking at the women's health issues. When we started looking at the women's health issues, our maternal deaths are still higher. Though, in fact, there is some reduction, in the last 1-2 years, a couple of years. But why there is a high maternal deaths? When we look at deeper, we analyze the data. When we analyze the data, we found 85% of those mothers who actually, suffered, who actually died during the delivery or immediately after the delivery, do not have any spacing between one birth to another birth. So if you ask a medical professional, they say that you cannot have birth after birth. In fact, your uterus no longer works. And that's why many people die because of postpartum hemorrhage and all other complications. So then whether these choices can women exercise? So this is where, the state is working. When we brought the state health policy, we provided a one line saying that right to birth spacing, because it's important for women's health to have that kind of a, the choices that she needs to exercise. So some of these things, this is one example that we have said, but when we visited one village where we asked the mothers, given a choice, they really wanted the choices, but the circumstances are not actually are providing. So here we require a greater participation from everyone. So that's why there is a concept of village health councils are also being brought in the state, where both men and women will work together. So it's like it's a women's movement also require men as a support. Like the way civil liberties movement in America happened, both whites and blacks worked together. Then only they got the freedom. I think this is a kind of the joint effort is required. And here again, I wanted to say one more thing. As Amartya Sen, the great Nobel laureate, economist, he said very beautifully about women's well-being versus women's agency. So both are important. So it's not that you have the rights over land, property, but you also have to have an agency to take decision, to choose decisions. So I think we require to create both the opportunities, both well-being opportunities as well as creation of agency opportunities.
We are here today to support and celebrate the commendable initiatives taken by the government, particularly in the bottom-up approach towards the empowerment of women. Though the functioning of the government was disrupted by the pandemic, but it has put its best foot forward to help women in any way that it can. As more information about this, the accomplishment will be shared through videos and will be shared by the more knowledgeable speakers who will speak later, I would like to bring our attention to another area where there is so much misconception, and that is many still confuse the matrilineal culture with the matriarchal system. And many still think that women in Meghalaya, we are in control of things, which is far from the truth. Customarily, women do not get decision-making powers, as we see. All traditional heads in the Darbar, local Darbars, Siimship, Nukamaship, Daloyship, other heads, they are all men. And even in a family, in a joint family, the uncle is the head of that family, and in a nuclear family, the father is the head of that nuclear family. Nevertheless, for the most part, women in our matrilineal society are considerably free and faring well compared to patriarchal system. In fact, Meghalaya is the only state in India that practices this culture. And I think you know that we are the largest surviving matrilineal society in the world. In a matrilineal society, the children take the last name of the mother because it is the responsibility of a woman to perpetuate the lineage or the clan name Consequently, in case of separation or divorce, or a woman is left a widow, the children stay with the mother, not with the father. Please note down that, not with the father, but with the mother. So the mother is responsible to look after the social, economic well-being of our children, as well as for the emotional and psychological upbringing. Single-handedly, she has to fend for her children, to manage the household, and to find a livelihood. It is an irony to think that this unique culture brings with it also a menace, a social menace that may put the state at risk, because it brings numbers of single mothers and teenage pregnancy. So far, the central government and the state government have put forward many programs, schemes, policies in different spheres to help the women in difficult circumstances, or those who have to go through the trauma of being, just say, in a domestic abuse relationship, and then or sexual abuse. And then it has also tried to put many schemes for the welfare of the women, especially her rights to health, her rights to education, life, liberty, etc. But however, now we have to, I won't say that these are not important. They are very, very much needed, very much important. But we have also to turn our attention or focus on the single motherhood and teenage pregnancy.
As the state celebrates 50 years of its statehood, I think it is time for us to renew our commitment to ensure empowerment and of the Meghalaya matrilineal society to meet the challenges of livelihood, of climate change, and for inclusive development. Our strength lies in the robust network of SHGs, women SHGs in the state. In the last 2 or 3 years, the number have increased exceedingly. Now I can say with certainty that more than 50% of the SHGs in the state are women SHGs. Our strength lies in the VECs. These are the Village Employment Councils, which are constituted under MG and REGA, where the post of secretaries are reserved for women on a rotational basis. So about 50% at one time, you'll always have women secretaries of the VECs. And I've just heard Twinkle say that from less than 250 women secretaries in VECs, there are now 2,400 secretaries in VECs. So, I mean, I think this is very important because it pushes women, into development issues. And who can feel the pinch more if not a woman? And, it's only a woman who have to travel a kilometer or 2 kilometers away to fetch water, who will know the necessity of having, water supply at their doorstep. So it's very important for women to be in these kind of activities. We also have, our strength is also in the women-led households. Many of us, Kong Fidelia Toy had spoken about single women. I'll talk about it a little later. And for the first time, let me also tell you that this year we have a gender budget. What is a gender budget? It incorporates, programs and schemes specifically for women. So that, by doing this, we can empower women. And it is a powerful tool to ensure that the benefits of development reaches women as much as it reaches men. Some say it's just an accounting tool. It is not just an accounting tool. It is, an ongoing process which keeps in mind a gender perspective while government prepares schemes, plans, programs, and policies for government. But besides the bright side, we also have the flip side. Kong Toy has also spoken about MMR, which is quite high in the state. But the last 2 or 3 years, again, there has been a significant, reduction in the MMR rate, thanks to an app called the Mother app, which we have been implementing, which tracks, pregnant mothers through all the 3 trimesters. Especially the third trimester, where the Asha actually goes and visits regularly, and when it's time to deliver, encourages the pregnant woman, take her to the nearest PHC or a CHC for institutional delivery. There's also the issue, of course, of teenage pregnancy and single mother. A single mother once said that in a world of pairs, it takes courage to do it solo. So it is, I think, for this reason, single parent, single mother, I think lack social assistance. There's a stigma to being a single mother. They lack financial assistance, and that's the reason why government has a scheme. It's called the CM Social Assistance Scheme for single mothers. We also have a scheme which Twinkle had mentioned, CM Save Motherhood scheme. These are all to take care of the problems of women who are in special circumstances. I would also like to mention a one-of-its-kind scheme, which is going to be launched today. It's not a scheme, it's a mission. It's called the Early Childhood Development Mission. And the aim of this mission is for holistic development of the child with health, nutrition, education, and cognitive development as its 4 defining pillars. And the outcome from this mission are many, some of which I will just mention: reduction in MMR, IMR, NMR, improved access to micronutrients, improved school readiness of children, better performance of children in school, developing of a strong IQ, EQ, and increase in cognitive skills in children. This was also bring in a reduction in stress, kids who want to go to school, reduction in stress, and creation of a safe environment for schools. Mission will also include active participation of women in development programs and the generation of more informed community cadre. It is hoped that the mission will also bring about a society where children and young adults are less likely to be involved in crimes and drugs in the long run and be more involved in gainful employment. Hopefully, it will also bring about individuals who are socially and emotionally balanced. And the successful implementation of this policy will help in ensuring the child reaches his or her full potential, having a positive impact on the life expectancy. And by the way, I was surprised to know that the life expectancy in Meghalaya is 62 years. So I hope that, this kind of intervention will also increase the life expectancy of the people. The policy envisions a mission for a long-term measure and investment that could combat stunting, which again is quite bad in Meghalaya. And the data is about, stunting of children is about 46.5, which is quite high in the whole country. And I hope the deliberations in this conference today will be productive and bear fruit, and we come up with creative ideas and solutions for the vexed problems of malnutrition in children, anemia in women, domestic violence, political exclusion, and livelihood challenges. I take this opportunity to, in line with the theme today, which is celebrate and support, I take this opportunity to salute and celebrate women entrepreneurs, women leaders, caregivers, women who've broken the glass ceiling, women who've breached the male bastion in the political arena, all kinds of women, who've made a difference in the lives of their own people. And I will end with a small quote. It is not a quote by anybody who's important, but it just says that women have to work twice as hard as men to achieve the same recognition. But if this is what it takes to be successful, then let us work that much harder. We are more than capable. Great things happen when women are given a chance, an opportunity to shine. With these few words, thank you so much for this opportunity.
We strongly believe every woman needs to be given a voice, every opportunity, starting from every hamlet, every village, every district, and every home. We have come a long way from that time where women were expected to spend their life behind iron curtains and stereotypes, taboos, and social segregation based on myth and belief. This has been made possible because some of them dare to take courage and fought against such prejudice and social hierarchy to this metamorphic summit of freedom and equality. The government of Meghalaya is sincere and committed to abolish every thought, every practice, every attempt to undermine this liberation and emancipation of a woman, breaking the bias, destroying myth and misconception about women and their capabilities remains our fourth. We shall work tirelessly against discrimination and injustice against any sex or race. No citizens shall be discriminated on things beyond their control like gender, position, religion, or race. We shall work together to ensure every mother, daughter, sister, girl's child is safe and motivated. Our success as a government, as a civilization, will depend hugely on how we treat women of this great nation, breaking conventional barriers and letting them soar to heights of success and opportunity. Absolute liberation begins with this: empowering every woman with access to formal education, hygiene, access to basic health care, physiosocial mental health, and work opportunities. Ensure every woman is safe in their own homes, workplace, at educational institution, and even in the roads. Protect her from exploitation, gender disparity, and violence within the family and her workplace areas. Then only we claim we are really liberated. Meghalaya prides itself of being a matrilineal society. In this sense, we are way ahead of other states and countries where female liberation was born through hard trials and even execution of rebels. Our woman has been empowered by birth, and thus we become the symbol of female emancipation and gender equality. Yes, we do have our challenges still. There's miles to go to ensure more women's autonomy in socio-economic spheres, in politics, education, entrepreneurship, and local governing bodies. The MDA government, under our Honorable Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, remains steadfast in our commitment to empower women socially, physically, economically, so she becomes a productive human being and she can also contribute to make the society and nation at par with the rest of progressive nations of the world. Together we can uplift women's status and their position. The success of any government will depend largely on how we can empower every mother, daughter, sister, girl's child of this land. As we live equals, men and women, of respect and excellence, we know we can achieve greatness. I wish the conference the very best. Let us join hands together to emerge as persons of understanding, sensibilities, appreciating the goodness and achievement of our efforts for righteousness and learning humbly from things we might have missed or damaged as all humans do. We collaborate today, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate, to uplift, and to honor the strength of every woman to overcome trials and tribulation of life, and finally to reach the metamorphic heights of a strong woman to create, nurture, and to transform.
The successful rollout of the South Asia Poverty Alleviation Program in Andhra Pradesh in 1996, with support from the Society for Elimination of Rural Poverty, further strengthened the SHG program implementation. The program evolved as a national movement in 2011 and became National Rural Livelihoods Mission, initiated by the Government of India and supported by the World Bank. NRLM was launched with a mission to reduce poverty by organizing strong institutions of the poor, particularly women, into self-help groups. Membership in SHGs provides poor households with access to financial inclusion through internal loan from SHG's own savings and credit from banks, government schemes, and entrepreneurial opportunities. To implement the scheme in the state of Meghalaya, an autonomous society in the name of Meghalaya State Rural Livelihood Society was created in 2011 under the Community and Rural Development Department. NRLM program was rolled out by MSRLS in Meghalaya in November 2014 in 3 districts, from 3 districts covering 4 blocks in 2014. MSRLS is now operating in all the 12 districts and 46 blocks with SHGs in 98% of the villages in the state. The SHG movement in Meghalaya, through the intervention of MSRLS, grew exponentially in the last 4 years as more impetus was placed on women-led SHG movement for improvement of livelihood of rural communities by the state government. The guiding principle for MSRLS is that SHGs are women economic collectives through which women can achieve economic empowerment. With this in mind, MSRLS provides one-time financial assistance to SHGs in the form of startup, revolving, and community investment funds to enable SHGs to have initial capital for consumption and livelihood purposes. MSRLS also facilitates and helps SHGs access collateral-free loans from banks. The support structure set up by MSRLS in the form of financial literacy awareness programs, bank Sakhi, and community-based recovery mechanism has ensured better output in terms of credit flow from the banks to the SHGs. With the rollout of the Business Correspondent Project, MSRLS is also ensuring the delivery of basic banking services direct to the homes of rural communities where banks are not available.
Tayo pun tu pekam ni Islam ki wa arpau khat khandai arpau wa em tu lockdown ta ha tu lockdown bun ki bru cham jam jarum yo bam yo di ki pli kadang te kami ga mandhawi o rungkat wa kini ki nang yalam I tadi lai I lalia ai penu I ketika jengerap yaki wa cham jam jar cham lamat.
In addition to economic empowerment, MSRLS is converging with the social welfare and health departments to address issues related to food, nutrition, health and sanitation for holistic development of self-help group members. This has ensured that more women, especially pregnant, lactating mothers, and children between 0 to 6 years have been provided access to nutrition support, health benefits, and schemes relating to women and children. MSRLS also facilitates support for livelihood activities by helping SHGs to prepare Village Poverty Reduction Plan, wherein demand for livelihood activities are made by SHG members. MSRLS then acts as a catalyst to link the SHGs with other departments like agriculture, DOFP, crime, animal husbandry and veterinary, who provide service extensions in the form of training, demonstrations, and input distribution.
Anga SSO nape banga skianirang ko manaha, aro anga dingtangani ko manaha, anga racha si hazal gani si dok busio SSO napna anga abachingaha. SSO napna skang anga namen nikanirang ko noktango manachem, angni noktangni pagbana anga mamung kuba daksakani sol dongjachem aro anga bisa disarangna angni lekha phorani rango aro angni noktangni nangani rango anga nik thangkha besarangni geman anga khangalong biachem anga forest kya dongja diba anga ya self help group nape banga skiani rangko matne daode anga lekha sena aro porainakta aro angni mismas karang baksa golpo karamna aro kamko katnakta umkate kamko katnakta anga solko manpaha SSO napnas kang a bangin niknekani rangko matna Nokni phagapana thangkha pesa nangan irang wa dakchak phatna solungja aron dakke thangkha matna nirang chol dungpha chachem. Dakke anga SSCO nape chinga SSCO nape antir ke chinga meeting ko ka aro chinga thangkha pesa rang ko chmunga dakke chinga loan rang ko SSC ni thur ai jangi thangani sol rang ko chinga dakkinga anga dao angni SSCO nape anga jangi thangna banga dingthangani sol rang ko matnaha anga loan rang ko ai SSC ni thur loan rang ko ai wak jila ni rang ko dakkinga aro machu jila ni rang ko dakkinga aro machu jile anga dut rang ko phalinga.
We are trying our best to add value to it and bring the products out in the market. Prime has been the guide, mentor, and the support, everything that Daldi needed. If we have any problems or anything, any doubts, you can just go to the Prime team and it'll be solved in an instant.
What Prime has done through their boot camps is opened a new avenue for me. But now I've been open to an avenue of having an actual business and marketing ideal for my product and eventually being able to make a profit from it. I've even had personal mentoring with mentors who were chosen specifically for my particular area. So I can confidently say without Prime, in this 1 year that I've been working with them, I probably would not have gone so much further into what I've been doing with this particular product of mine than what I had been doing previous to being incubated by them.
Masadang yang kena ke bisnes la kam selam hindu araja khatnyau mencua impat biang lot ke mesin hendrai meta ngas ngamu kan ba ngila sedang yo lot ya ke mesin ke badan kam hang ne nga ai khu belai ya ka Prime Meghalaya namal ba makiru kimju ino yang i kila yarap hadu kata-kata yang kila ai funding yang hadu khat khandai lak ai akan menru ba kindang kios prang hakakam kajam kajongki.
I took the initiative to make awareness among the women of our area. Right, from the aerosol farmers, they sell to the aerosol spinners, and then from the spinners to the weavers. We want to scale up our production, engage more and more women in this weaving, train more women. We can create job for ourselves. We have 24 hours, so we can manage our time in our home, we can manage our time with our children, and we can manage our time with our business.
We believe in the concept of cradle to cradle, and that is the core value of my business. I'm grateful to Prime team for the support and assistance that I've received. They are encouraging entrepreneurship in our state, Meghalaya. It is a real support system for dreamers and visionaries like us.
City Flora started off as a fresh flower shop, but the need of an hour compelled me and my team to step out of our comfort zone and begin with event planning and event rental, and now the rest is history. I would like to extend my gratitude to the whole team of Prime Meghalaya for being very patient with me and helping me with whatever they could help me with. And I would also like to congratulate them for all the successful entrepreneurship courses which they are doing for every nook and corner of Meghalaya. I can see from my own cohort the changes which they have brought for my own team by scaling up their business to another level.
I am very grateful to God for the grace and strength that He constantly showered upon me as a woman, and that He has enabled me to endure many challenges in my journey as a woman entrepreneur. The journey has never been easy, especially that a balance has to be made between my work life and family. We started our enterprise based on the experience we encountered with the pineapple farmers of Ribhoi district in 2016 and 17, with whom we work and tried to support them in market linkage. But some of the issues we encountered at that time inspired us to do what we are doing today. Since then, our mission has been to innovatively undertake value addition of horticulture crops of Meghalaya so as to prevent wastage and spoilage during peak season, and that includes the undervalued fruits that are grown widely in our forests. Today, we are also trying to work with farmers and SHGs towards promoting regenerative agriculture. We started our enterprise in the year 2018, and in the year 2020, it was converted into a private limited. Today, we have become even more progressive, primarily because of Prime, because of the support and training received from Prime. Apart from mentoring and business sessions, Prime has helped us in receiving the fellowship under Pernod Ricard Foundation, which is a program for women entrepreneurship. And upon graduation, we were awarded with Prime funding for setting up our new manufacturing unit, which is currently under construction. During 2021-2022, we were the only enterprise from Meghalaya to be part of the Emerging India Acceleration Program under Sangam Venture. Currently, we have tied up with NAFED under the ODOP program for pineapple, and I am proud to say that we are the only enterprise from Meghalaya and from all over Northeast so far to be part of the scheme, wherein we manufacture the products and NAFED market at Pan-India. The journey all look rosy, but it's not without any difficulties. But despite many challenges, we have emerged wiser and stronger, and our plan is to be one of the leading manufacturing company in Northeast India in the next 5 to 10 years down the line. Prime has been such an excellent platform for the first generation entrepreneur like me, and I believe for many others. I am so grateful to all the staffs who have made themselves available all the time for us. And in conclusion, I would like to say to all the women entrepreneurs, never give up your passion. Follow your dreams and everything else will follow in due time.
The Chanago, establishment of Ilaka and village, and election appointment powers, function and jurisdiction of the law, Serdar and Hectional Acts, Araja Katsan. The empower the leader of Kuborga, Yaki Kentai, OMG Hakawi Pokawi, Kidarbar Chinong, Hapo of a body of the Chinong. Tau MG Kentai, Mho Udunadi Yaga, one tat, Lenny, Sumut, Haka Wipawi Naki, Estibudi Yoga, Darbachnong, Yawara Chinong, you have a po, Ijin Pipe, but Ijin Pala Yoga, the circumcision.
You can tie your someone. Your tip that's Pangaman from the live with long cow. Your in Butang, you am for the Sandrang and for the Taki, in Taiwan, your UAE. But am for home and Yalang, am for the Sandrang you have some chippy.
Nandung Twang alonga Ngawan Nagalong Ying of Badung Ngalongam Batray Nong Snee Hakapon Twa. Hadin Bangala join Yaga SSD. Nga yo jing toy sibun lang bagi training banga yo naga SG kumta ha ka how ar hajar khatsan ela ngala sajiet kum ka secretary VEC ter ngala trai ha ka nega secretary VEC hadin lais nem ngala yo biang banlong kum ka secretary VEC biang ha ka wei tawan ka ha ka wei ka VEC badang supami Thmai, Munchwa,
long hakatan thlong vc hadin ba lapan mi thmai daga pring tong vc ngalayo biang ban join kum ka secretary vc hadu mentaro ngadang long kum ka secretary vec tengah teri sibun ki wok adar banga bala penyo naga neriga gi kamtam bangalala ban penyo ya ki sel hukrup kum ki trap snieng ki trap lang ki trap masi bat ki we de ki bangala ban kersan ya ki para member sel hukrup jonga ngala penyoru chief unit ke livestock breeding center ya ki sel hukrup hapo kasnong gajongi sibun ki wakordar ngamla ban batai shai kum ki land development akri retilaten ki land development ki water conservation ter kumta
Hakapor pa sedang ban armen hela ding le check up yala ding le register hante pomlom PHC nga check up ban kapor bar kinos ki doktor yang ki simkia hangte happy HC ki simkia kani ki ai ka dawai dashin ki check up man kapor mayanga hadu banda khai khon ki simkia kani bat ngayo ya kamet ka pukoj bakhya bat hadu banda khai khon ri sim yo ya kamet ka pukoj bakhya imdan kanu ka chingthut bat hakabaya dai ba ikon ru ki nas ki doktor sab kin yok injection ki lafon nga ba dai bali eye injection te ngasim kya ya kane nadu pasdang ban eye injection hadu nganda pendab body injection baro be ikon janga yo ya kamet ka bukaj bakhya kumtang ai khuble ya ka pomlom PHC bat ya baro kinas ki doktor ki ba la le bhana banta jonga bat kumjuru ki para long kemeng akan tu ba kin simkia maya kane ba kakot kakya hi kalong kabadan kam na banta ka si imjungi ki brio ba kalong kaspa ba na banta jongi kumtang akan tu ba kin simkia kane kin nadok sidang ban armet kin simkia ban le check up kin di ki dawai batista ma kin yo kajing sumar ka babiang ba ikon ru inyo ya kamet ka bakot bakhya kumta ngai khublei ru kabakhat do na banta ka sarkar baka le bhashi bon e na banta jongi kum kilong kame ba yala de ru na do basdang ban armen khamlut pisa watang stingka ru ngayo ai ki dawai ki dashin ki injection ba pher ngayo ai khamlut pisa watang stingka kum tanga ai khublei shibon e sarkar baka le bhanam ta jongi ba wala kataru kadang ai ki scheme ki ba pher na banta jongi kilong kame kum tanga ai khublei shibon e na banta kane.
As part of the rehabilitation program, the women have to be given skill training. So the Swathar Greh set up its own livelihood training program, training these women in bakery, cooking, pickle making, broom making and tailoring. Taking it a step further, the Swathar Greh, with the help of the aim of Millim, constructed a small tea shop near the shelter home, and the inmates who had learned to cook and to bake manage and run the tea shop, which primarily cater to the patients who visit Suncare Hospital. This small enterprise has helped the inmates to develop self-esteem, made them occupied and financially independent.
I've had 3 years experience in the field of teaching, one in Jyotish Road Inclusive School, Bethany Society, Shillong, as an English teacher, and in Ajmal Foundation, Hojai, Assam, as an English trainer and spoken English teacher. Currently, I am pursuing PhD program in the Department of English from Martin Luther Christian University, Shillong. Truly speaking, without the various schemes and scholarships that has been supporting women and persons with disabilities through Social Welfare Department, it would have not been possible for me to reach this level of education. Also, I am very fortunate that through the support and help of the meritorious scholarship through the Department of Social Welfare and the Department of Health, that I am able to complete Masters in English, and that I am the first woman with visual impairment to have completed Masters in English from NEHU and to pursue PhD program in English. This scholarship has been of immense help to meet all requirements that will help me to achieve my aim for getting the PhD degree, after which I would like to see myself in a respectable position. However, accessibility to safe spaces and services is still a barrier for women, particularly women with disabilities. And also, if schemes and scholarships could be released or given on a regular basis to beneficiaries, and moreover, if the Chief Minister's Social Assistance Scheme could be increased from 500 rupees amount that has been now going on for 8 years, this would be of immense help to all persons with disabilities, especially for women, as most of women with persons with disabilities are still in between jobs. So I hope this conference will take the matter. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Long shoot ikan san yang atau kopor long ada expect bebaun pet yang ni bah, apa pekat kan baun shoot. Ina yang apa kini kikun argot te long probably bill ikum tu ia lang hi te gila ekran sok man kumta ni yang kia kumta shong sport sitai ban pelaj karam kasha kumta te ngaro ngahun yang tahu mencuban biang kumtu adin ski kumtu bon ba juda kamera ban te hab depend na papa te ke school by eru ju pensa bete kumtu siu kumtu ke ade school ke jing dan kam school bon ba ju ai la te be papa ma ngadang mut hi ban nya shong biang hi mo ngan ma si sien thì mà uống những tre của mình xã suy nghĩ mấy thì không quan số bắt trường học sợ sao đó cũng nghe nên là ngắm tre suy ra papa rồi lòng này tre suy buổi bữa cái show bắt đầu đi công tác tụi nó ngay suốt bên ông như bro hill ki para kinh tế ki besem ku besem mangat ki ba long ki dan la ka jong problem kam silong thì nang tin po ka office government commission tel kay ram palat kin no long tập hiện đơn cái tiền số pha cái phần elite kmi
These one-stop centers are designed in such a way to empower women, to any aggrieved women who are survivors of violence, to come forward, to make themselves be heard. And through the kind of services and the assistance that we're providing from our office, we are enabling the woman to come up, for her to be self-reliant and to be independent in the choices that she made.
So currently this app is functioning in the Android phone itself, and as soon as you put in the OTP, you'll come directly to this homepage. So once you tap the panic button here, it'll turn out green. So you see this green button, it is locating our area where we are in. Once we stop, a distress message has been gone to the PCR. Immediately the OC will detail the personnel or the officers from the concerned police station. The call will immediately go to the concerned distress caller to ensure whether they have received the immediate response or not.
The objective is to provide immediate relief and response to women and children in distressful situations or any kind of challenge. We've intervened in several domestic violence cases. Just last week, there was a distress call from Nonminsong, where in the middle of the night at around 11:30, when a lady had used the panic button and the police team rushed from Nonminsong outpost. So we've had a multitude of cases that have been reported to us using the app and that the police has responded to. We hope to empower women and children and all citizens of Meghalaya by providing a tool in their phone that allows them to report cases instantly and ensure help comes their way.
Early childhood development is a crucial period in a child's life from conception to the age of 8 years. Evidence indicates that if children are given good nutrition and proper childcare, they will fully develop both physically as per their age and intellectually, thereby having more cognitive capital. How the brain is nurtured during this time influences its development, which in turn influences every aspect of a child's future. ECD spans from conception until the beginning of primary school and encompasses 4 areas: physical well-being, cognitive development, linguistic development, socio-emotional development. Each of these stages needs age-appropriate support to ensure your child reaches the full potential. To ensure we let our children achieve their full human potential, we must improve maternal health by ensuring that pregnant mothers are taken care of well in advance and provided nutritional and medical support. Ensure the newly born babies are exclusively breastfed for 6 months, followed by complementary breastfeeding up to the age of 3 years. Ensure that birth spacing of minimum 3 years is followed by every mother so that a newborn child gets the required undivided attention. This way, the mother will recuperate and can plan for a second child. Another important process is serve and return, in which a baby, toddler or child is reached out for interaction by parents and caregivers for responsive caregiving.
The Union Minister, Women and Child Development, Government of India, Smriti Z. Irani, who could not be present physically due to the cabinet meeting at Delhi, was present in absentia via a televised message.
I am particularly delighted today that the government of Meghalaya has enabled a confluence of some of the best minds dedicated to the cause of women and children. As you all know, the Honourable Prime Minister's flagship programme, Poshan, is of great significance not only to the nation at large, but particularly the state of Meghalaya. Through the Prime Minister's leadership, we have enabled 40 crore activities, a partnership between civil society, society at large, and governments both at the centre and the state. What brings particular attention in this programme is to the fact of malnourishment. I am today extending my gratitude to the government of Meghalaya for their dedicated efforts to eradicate this stigma of malnourishment from our society. As you all know, the Honourable Prime Minister's flagship programme, the Matru Vandana Yojana, has today enabled cash transfers to the tune of 10,000 crores to over 2 crore 70 lakh pregnant women in our country. This is to assist them and their medical needs through pregnancy and also encourage institutional delivery. The Prime Minister has ensured that our political discourse moves from female development to women-led development of our country. And that is why it is particularly important that all facets of administration bring to the core of their service the needs of women and children. As you all know, that recently the government has amended the Juvenile Justice Act to ensure that we enhance our governance capacities to help secure and provide support to children especially who are vulnerable. I am grateful to the state government of Meghalaya, which has taken into cognizance not only the amendments to the acts and the rules that follow, but also the directions given by the government of India on the 13th of January 2021, which brings to the core of administration the nutrition administration and ambition of the government of India. That the state government of Meghalaya is particularly dedicated to the cause of women and children is known across the world. I am looking forward to many such accomplishments by the state governments, which become best practices for many state governments and also the government of India to emulate. Ladies and gentlemen, as you congregate today, you are the best of minds in the state, which will bring forth new ideas, which will bring forth new solutions. I wish you well for this conference, and I look forward to the output of this conference so that I may read and be enabled and enlightened. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
This is one of the biggest conferences that the state has had in a very, very long time. This was a result of a meeting that I had with the chairperson of the Women's Commission and the members who were present that day. And we started discussing about different issues, different problems, the way forward, and a lot of ideas came out. And that's when we decided that there needs to be a connect and there needs to be a platform where we can discuss all these issues, bring together people and women from different walks of life to, yes, celebrate on the different aspects that are there, things that are happening, but more importantly, discuss on critical issues which need to be addressed. We intend to make this an annual affair because it doesn't end with one day. In fact, I just want to share with you that I had told Kong Fidele Toy, our chairperson, and the principal secretary and the honorable minister that I would like this conference to be for 2 days because one day is not enough. We realized through these years that the issue that comes, especially when it comes to MMR, it's everything from nutrition to spacing of birth to economic empowerment of women. We need to ensure that all of these aspects are addressed. Only then will we see the final result, which is the MMR will come down. So that's when we started realizing that self-help group movement has to move. So I called a meeting and we discussed, we realized, I asked how many groups are there? They said we have 4,000 groups. I said 4,000, that's it? So how much money have you spent in the last many years since we started this program of NRLM? And how much money has been given? And they mentioned that we've given about 10 crores. And then we realized that we need to engage women economically, because when we start engaging them economically and creating this group, then we are able to shift and divert their energy and their entire time into things that are differently productive. So therefore, we started going into and engaging into economic activities. That's when the entire process of self-help group movement started. And I'm happy to inform you that in 4 years, from 4,000 groups, today we are at 40,000 groups. We had released only 10 crores to the groups in before 2018. Today, in 4 years, we have released over 210 crores. So more than 1,000% jump has taken place, and you've seen the different testimonies that have been given by different individuals. We heard from Merita C.H. Marak about how the different self-help group movement has helped them. So that's how we started engaging. We realized that this entire picture is much bigger than just looking at one aspect of institutional delivery. It's to do with economic empowerment of women. So the PRIME program is actually meant to allow the self-help group movements is the second level of the pyramid, where from the self-help groups, the farmers that are there, all these are then aggregated and the entrepreneur ensures that these are then commercialized and then is brought up to the level of being able to market it. So this kind of a large thought process started with the health of the women and the mother and trying to save a mother's life. An early childhood development program. There are almost close to 4 lakh children who are right now less than 5 years and another 4 lakh children who are between 5 and 10. That means about 8 lakh children who are between the age of 0 and 10. We realized that if we wait for them to become 12 years and 13 years and 14 years and then start to think about what they will become, then it's too late. And therefore, this early childhood development program, which we launched today, was started. We need to realize that children's minds grow the most before the age of 8. And if we miss that bus, then we are not getting the maximum utility and the maximum output and the maximum kind of development of the brain, development of the emotions as we would have got if we had focused on them before the year of 8 years old. That's the reason why this program came in. Then we realized that there is a teenage pregnancy issue. Now, if we start to just simply give care to the teenage pregnant women or single mothers after they are already pregnant and worrying about, at that point in time that why this is happening, we should give care, which we should. I'm not saying we shouldn't, obviously we have to give. But the question is, again, it's only the result and the outcome of what has happened in the past 6-7 years. We need to guide adolescent girls. We need to give the right counseling to adolescent boys. And the age group between 8 and 12 is so crucial for a girl child and even for the boys, that if the right counseling is given during that period between 8 to 12, then maybe those children who are counseled the right way will not have teenage pregnancy in the coming years. And therefore, there will be a program which we're calling M-Power program. This is Meghalaya Power program. The idea is to come up with a new program for adolescent girls and adolescent boys and guide them so that we can take care, or we can at least reduce the teenage pregnancies and the single motherhood issue that we're facing, apart from obviously giving guidance and support to the ones who already are. But preventive measures is what we're trying to look at in the long run. There are problems, but just by harping on the problems, we won't find the solutions. I want the minds in this room to give us those solutions. Yes, problems are there, and I also know those problems. And let me be very, very direct with you when I say this, that I am looking for solutions. I want you to give me innovative solutions that we can do, things that we can move forward. I'm not saying that we can implement all of them, but because there are financial constraints we will face. But there will be solutions that will come out which will be able to make things happen and really change the lives of some of our citizens of our state, especially the women in our state. And I really look forward to those positive suggestions coming up. And as I said, let it not end on this one day. Let this whole year be a process till we, again, there's a conference again next year. But till that, this 1 year, I would want the Women's Commission, I would want the different self-help groups to share the experiences, reach out to the other groups, reach out to women who are facing challenges, come up with solutions, tell the government that these policies need to be changed. That's how a team works. And therefore, I was just listening to the speeches that have been given, that teamwork is absolutely necessary. The success, I should say, the success of MRSLS, that is the NRLM project, is not because the Chief Minister gave a direction that it must be done. The success is because the team at the grassroots level worked day and night to form record 35,000 groups in a matter of 4 years. It's not a joke. We must congratulate the team. It is their hard work that has made this happen. I'm also very happy to see that now 2,400 women are secretaries of VECs. Again, just what Mr. Sampath had mentioned, that one doesn't realize the impact of the decision that was made in that cabinet meeting. I mean, we know what it means. It means that 50% of the seats will be reserved for women. But the actual impact of what happens because of that decision at the grassroots, where the women will have a say in what kind of money, and I'm talking about 1,500 crores of annual budget in MGNREGA. So 50% of that means 750 crores is going to be decided by women VEC secretaries on what project should be implemented at the grassroots level. So you can imagine the kind of power that was given by that one simple but a groundbreaking decision, the first of its kind in the country, and today we are seeing results of these decisions. So what I'm trying to tell you, friends, is that it's been quite a journey in this whole process. So many things have happened, and that's why when I started my speech, I was mentioning to you that I don't know where to start, because my mind is just full of all the different activities that has taken place. My mind is full of all the challenges that are there, and it's just impossible to connect all the dots, but basically it's connected through you. So that's why this women's conference is being organized.
I got my heart set, my feet wait, and he don't even know it yet, but no one needs to know right now. I'll tell him someday, some way, somehow, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for now. I want bells to ring, quite a scene. The white dress, the case, a king, caught a hold on thing, but no one needs to know right now. I'll tell him someday, some way, somehow, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for now. We'll have a little girl, a little boy, a little bandy we call Leroy, but no one needs to know right now. And I'm not lonely anymore at night, and he don't know he can't make it right. My dream men are stupid. I think I've been hit by Cupid. No one needs to know right now. And I'm not lonely anymore at night, and he don't know he can make it right. Now dreaming are stupid, but boy, about to hit by Cupid, but no one needs to know right now.